On a cold winter evening in Chicago, when the sky was already turning dark and the streets were crowded with rushing people, no one noticed the man sitting near the subway entrance. His name was Daniel Carter, but the city only knew him as that homeless guy with the beard. His jacket was torn, his shoes were worn down to the soles, and his hands were red from the freezing wind. People passed him every day, office workers, students, tourists, most pretending he didn't exist. Daniel had once been a construction worker, a father, a husband. A factory accident years ago had shattered his leg and his life. Medical bills piled up, his job disappeared, his marriage collapsed, and one mistake after another pushed him onto the streets. The city moved on. He didn't. That evening, Daniel wasn't asking for money. He was just watching people. Watching life. Then he heard a sound that didn't belong in the noise of the city, a sharp, desperate cry. Across the street, a young mother named Emily Parker was struggling with grocery bags while trying to answer her phone. Her 5-year-old son, Noah, stood near the curb, fascinated by the flashing traffic lights. It only took 1 second. One horn. One scream. Noah stepped forward. A car came speeding around the corner. Emily dropped everything and turned, her heart stopping in her chest. But before she could even scream her son's name, a figure moved. Daniel ran. People later said they didn't understand how a man with a limp, a man who slept on cardboard, moved that fast. But Daniel didn't think. He didn't hesitate. He didn't calculate risk. He just ran. He reached Noah and shoved him backward with all his strength. The child fell hard onto the sidewalk. The car missed him by inches. Daniel didn't. The impact threw Daniel onto the asphalt. His body rolled, his head hit the road, and everything went quiet. For a moment, the entire street froze. Then chaos erupted. Emily screamed and ran to her son, pulling him into her arms, crying, shaking, checking him again and again. Noah was bruised, terrified, but alive. He kept asking, "Mommy, where's the man?" Someone called 911. Police arrived first. Then an ambulance. People gathered, phones out, whispers spreading. The homeless man lay unconscious, blood on his face, his breathing shallow. One police officer, Officer James Rodriguez, knelt beside Daniel and checked his pulse. He looked at the paramedic and said quietly, "This man saved that kid's life." At the hospital, doctors rushed Daniel into emergency surgery. The doctor on duty, Dr. Sarah Mitchell, reviewed his chart and shook her head. Multiple fractures. Internal bleeding. Severe head trauma. No insurance. No emergency contact. Just a name written shakily in the intake form, Daniel Carter. Emily sat in the waiting room holding Noah, who refused to let go of her hand. She kept replaying the moment in her mind, the blur of movement, the push, the sound of impact. A stranger had risked everything for her child. Hours passed. When Dr. Mitchell finally came out, her expression was serious but hopeful. "He's alive," she said. "But it's going to be a long road." Emily stood up, tears in her eyes. "Can I see him?" Dr. Mitchell hesitated. "He's unconscious. And he doesn't have anyone." "I want to be there," Emily said firmly. "He saved my son. He shouldn't be alone." Word of the incident spread fast. Local news picked it up. Homeless man saves child in downtown Chicago. The video footage from a nearby store went viral. People watched the clip again and again, the moment Daniel ran, the moment he pushed Noah away, the moment he fell. The city that had ignored him was now watching him. Police officers visited the hospital. Social workers arrived. Donations started pouring in. People left messages, "He's a hero. Please tell him thank you. Don't let him go back to the streets." But Daniel didn't wake up. Days turned into weeks. Emily came every day with Noah. She read books by Daniel's bedside. She talked to him, telling him about Noah's favorite cartoons, about school, about how the city was talking about him. Noah drew pictures, stick figures holding hands, and placed them on the table. "Wake up," Noah whispered once. "I want to say thank you." Finally, one quiet morning, Daniel opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was sunlight through the window. The second was a small child staring at him. "Mom," Noah whispered loudly, "he's awake." Emily rushed to his side, tears streaming down her face. "You saved my son," she said, her voice breaking. "Thank you. I will never be able to repay you." Daniel tried to speak, his throat dry. "Is the boy okay?" "Yes," Emily nodded. "Because of you." Daniel closed his eyes. A single tear rolled down his cheek. Recovery was slow and painful. Physical therapy. Counseling. Nights filled with memories he had tried to bury. But something had changed. He wasn't invisible anymore. The city stepped in. The mayor mentioned his name in a press conference. A local construction company offered him a job when he recovered. A non-profit helped him find housing. The hospital waived his bills. But the biggest change wasn't the help, it was the connection. Emily and Noah stayed in his life. Months later, on a sunny spring afternoon, the city held a small ceremony. Daniel stood on a stage, using a cane, wearing a clean jacket. Police officers, doctors, reporters, and ordinary citizens stood together. Emily held Noah's hand in the front row. Officer Rodriguez handed Daniel a medal. "For extraordinary courage," he said. "And for reminding us what humanity looks like." Daniel looked at the crowd, overwhelmed. "I didn't do it to be a hero," he said quietly. "I did it because it was a child. And because once, a long time ago, I had a son too." The crowd fell silent. That day, the city learned something important: kindness doesn't ask for permission, and heroes don't wait for applause. So if this story moved you even a little, like this video and subscribe to the channel.